Hello there. This is a aluminum oxide stone. You can see it's glazed pretty well. I got this for like $2 at a local flea market. It's glazed on me. Now, there's an old school method of getting rid of this glaze or flattening old oil stones, and it involves a cement sidewalk. Chris Blaylock has got a really good video on that. But what happens if you don't have a sidewalk? This is a cement header, I think they call it. I got it at Lowe's. I paid all of $1.79 for it. This will last a long time. You could do many stones with it, and when you get done with it, you can basically just chuck it out in the backyard and do it again. Use it again when you need to. Now you can use loose grit, you can use silicon carbide powder, aluminum oxide powder. They make that as well. You can use emery cloth, 60 grit sanding belt, low grit sandpaper, all kinds of things you can use. But this is the way it was done for a very long time. And it'll get the job done. I should have got more water though. I need more water. Sorry, because this thing is porous and I didn't account for that. I might have to come back after I run out of water, which won't be much longer. And actually, I'm using the dry portion. Let's try dry and see what that does. Yeah. You can see the stone was slightly dished, so yeah, I spit on it. I wanted to see what that section looked like when it was wet. If you actually use these stones back in the day, spit was a common lubricant. That was used all the time, particularly when I was young. Young boys would use it because we might not have access to something like 3-in-1 oil. but spit was readily available. One of the things too, while we're here and talking, there are two different kinds of old school man-made oil stones. Now I'm sure that there are more of that, but the two most common in this country is what I have here, which is aluminum oxide, and silicon carbide. Now if you're looking at Norton calls aluminum oxide India stones, and they call silicon carbide crystalline, or crystalline, or I think it's crystalline, but anyway, whichever, we know what we're talking about. The difference that I have noticed, I haven't used crystalline as much, or silicon carbide as much, as I've used aluminum oxide. But the biggest difference that I can see, because I have what I believe to be a silicon carbide stone that I keep in the car to do quick work on, like a knife that I've got in my pocket that I need an edge on now. A crystalline stone and a soft Arkansas makes quick work of that. But the crystalline stone will shed a bit of grit as you sharpen on it. From what I know from my experience with it, the aluminum oxide is a harder stone, and it doesn't shed grit as easily as the crystalline does. And that's basically what it does. Make sure I'm still, yeah. What that does is the crystalline or silicon carbide cuts faster, but it has more of a coarse surface, and leaves a coarser finish than the India stone. And one of the reasons that I use the India stone more often is I like the bit finer edge that the India stone provides. But if you're looking to hog off a ton of metal real fast, it's hard to beat a crystalline stone. Now I know today most guys would run to a diamond stone, and that's fine. I mean, it's available, but old school didn't have diamond stones. All they had was silicon carbide or aluminum oxide. Some guys might have had the diamond stones, but they were not available to the public, or if they were fairly expensive. And you see now, this is some work here. You can see these are stupid hard. Now this is not an Arkansas stone, but it's still a stupid hard stone. It takes a while, even on a concrete sidewalk. This is not something you're gonna do in 10 or 15 minutes. So I'm gonna continue on with this, and when I get it where I want it, I'll come back. We'll talk some more. All right, we're back. What I did, once I got the stone flat and deglazed, I used some silicon carbide that's like 60 to 90 grit. It's a variable on this stone to kind of condition the surface because I don't want it to be as coarse as what it's like when it comes off of this. If you look, the surface is no longer glazed. Now there's some oil staining of some kind here. I don't know what was used here. It's an old stone and you will run into things like that, but that stone is ready now. What I will do is I will take a brush, a nylon brush, and wash this with soap in the sink to make sure all the loose grit and stuff is off of this stone. And while I was at it, I have a Norton MB8. It's a, I don't know if you can read that or not, but it's a medium 8" by 2" bench stone, and it needed conditioning as well. It wasn't glazed, but it needed conditioning. So, well, it was glazed actually, but not like that. Anyway, that's how easy it is. Now you can come off of this and use the surface that this provides, or you can come off of this and use silicon powder, silicon carbide loose grit, or you can come off of this and use successive sandpapers, a 60 grit or 80 grit sandpaper, wet dry, or I'm sorry, free cut type of sandpaper would work well as a conditioner for that kind of thing. Just whatever it is you want. But hey, no sidewalk, no problem. Thanks for watching. Later.